In the body of operatic repertoire, sopranos do not often fare well by the end of the opera. Tuberculosis, murder, suicide, or some other ill-fated variant typically leads to the end of the dramatic leading lady. Therefore, it is of special note and significance that the character Susanna in Mozart and Ponte's Le Nozze di Figaro not only becomes the victor of the drama, but also in the fact that she achieves it by freeing herself from societal and gendered restrictions. Both her independence and her dramatic victory climax with her fourth act aria De Vieni non tardar. To understand the significance of Susanna's success, one must first consider the social and gender structures to which she was bound. In the conservative regions of the Iberian Peninsula in the 18th century, which serves as the setting of the story, many aristocratic households still adhered to patriarchal ranking of the household family, which not only included spouses, siblings, nieces, nephews, and the like, but also the staff and the servants. It is not until the bottom of this social order that we find Susanna, a household servant and the niece to the gardener Antonio. In addition to low social status, Susanna is also subject to gendered stereotypes of the day. The relatively closed and familial system of the household is what leads to the tensions and conflicts in the characters face, and leaves them with two options: put up with them, happy or not, or try to break the set bounds of the system in order to achieve their goals. What is significant about the characters in Nozze is that while the principal men, the Count and Figaro, choose the former option, complacency, the principal women, Susanna and the Countess, choose to break from their systemic boundaries. Susanna's success in breaking these boundaries is in part possible because of the overall attitudes of aristocratic life in the latter half of the 18th century. The general aesthetic of the period was decidedly feminine. Thus, a woman with a wide base range of knowledge and a fair degree of common sense could have the potential to go far in society. An intelligent young maid like Susanna, therefore, would have little trouble observing and mimicking the behaviors of her mistress in the upper echelons of society. Susanna's social mobility is not only clear from Da Ponte's libretto, but Mozart's music also reflects her adaptable social skills. In every duet and ensemble she is featured in, Susanna takes a prominent vocal line. Both musically and socially, she blends to the appropriate style while duetting with Figaro, Marcellina, and the Count. In these instances, since she is so consistently a central figure, it is easy to forget her low standing. This remains only relatively notable to the Countess. Unlike Susanna, who rises above her caste in order to secure her happiness, the Countess must descend below her station in order to attain hers. Musically, there are minimal class differences between the Countess and Susanna. During their Act 3 duet Sul Aria, the two even share the same melodic line. Da Ponte and Mozart lay out these women's paths to victory gradually throughout the 4 acts of the opera. As the day goes along, it is easily noticeable that the women gain more and more control of the situation. The first act for Susanna is her many attempts to contain both the actions and reactions of the men around her. The second act enters into a feminine space, both physically and dramatically. It is there that she and Susanna begin their plot against the Count, albeit with Figaro as their leader. The women's push against masculine dominance grows stronger as the act progresses. Midway through that act's finale, they achieve their first major victory against the Count and disprove his jealousies by revealing Susanna to be hiding in the closet rather than Cherubino. Mozart then allows Susanna to mock the Count using his own musical genre, the aristocratic minuet. By the third act, the two women have completely excluded Figaro from their scheme and manipulated the Count at his own game. By Act 4, Susanna claims her full control and triumph over the other players. She uses her full command of the stage to secure the success of her plot, taunt her husband, mock the patriarchy, and freely express her romantic feelings in her only aria, De Vieni non tardar. This moment of the opera best highlights the theme of reversed gender norms. Women of the 18th century were discriminately considered to be more natural creatures. They were supposed to be inevitably flexible and inconstant, with a tendency to yield too easily to the more rational ploys of seduction made by any man. However, throughout the course of the evening, it is the men who are shown to be inconsistent, untrustworthy, and confused, and it is the women who show firmness, faithfulness, and enterprise. Susanna mocks this notion of male rationality by adopting elevated speech patterns throughout her recitative in Giunse al fin il momento, and giving her aria, De Vieni non tardar, the effect of a serenade. This is significant because of the many important connotations of that genre. It is typically considered to be masculine. Even within Mozart's repertoire, his use of the serenade in his operas is reserved for male wooing, notably either in Don Giovanni's De Vieni alla Finestra or Pedreo's romance from Die Entführung aus dem Serral. The elegant yet simple vocal line above pizzicato strings and effervescent winds defines the serenade style, while also emoting Susanna's femininity and charm. The true triumph of the piece comes with the sincerity of her love for Figaro, of which she sings. She may tease and threaten him with the status of a cuckold, but in the end, it is only roses and herself which she freely gives him. Thus, among the pine trees, Susanna takes a socially elite and masculine musical structure and makes it her own, turning a simple melody into the masterpiece it is today. It is characters like Susanna, who refuse to be limited by the abuses and limits of their situations, who drive the genre of opera across centuries of social relevancy.